Picture this, you had a long day and you don't want a challenge, you don't want a whole storyline that's going to demand your full attention. You just want something relaxing, calming, something that you can let go and be cozy. So you boot up a game and within minutes, your shoulders drop, your breathing slows, and you're transported to another world. You're calm, you're at peace. And that's what a cozy game promises to deliver. And for a long time, they delivered the exact same thing in the exact same way. A farm, some crops, a handful of town folks to befriend, and if you're lucky, romance. Rinse and repeat. But something has shifted quietly in this genre. And I think it may be one of the most exciting things to happen in gaming right now. Because cozy games are finally growing up. But before we get into where the genre is going, let me introduce myself. It's me, JJ Smoothie. Call me JJ Fantasy Smoothie if you're looking for you like it both ways. Call me JJ Smoothie. So we're talking about cozy games. First, we gotta understand what is a cozy game. A more technical definition of a cozy game probably goes something a little like a cozy game is low stakes, no stress, experience designed to be relaxing and comforting and cozy. No fail states, no pressure, no darkness, just good vibes. When you think of a cozy game, you probably think of one of three: Stardew Valley, Animal Crossing, Harvest Moon. They're basically the blueprint for cozy games. You water your crops, you go talk to your same 12 villagers, you decorate your little town, you get married, you settle down. I mean, rinse and repeat. And you do it all again tomorrow. And somehow, I won't lie, it doesn't really get old, but it does get oversaturated. And for a couple years now, this was the genre. This was the cozy game. Farming sims with charismatic, charming characters and art styles, golden hour glow and everything. And honestly, it was great. It still is great. But here's the thing about definitions. They're different for everybody based on who they are. And sometimes the best art breaks definitions. When Stardew Valley in 2016 exploded onto the scene, it didn't just become a hit. It became a template. Suddenly, every indie studio wanted a piece of the cozy pie, and the market just started filling up fast. You had Coral Island, which took the farming simulation into a tropical, beautiful place with an environmental message woven into the beautiful gameplay. Absolutely Stardew Valley's cousin. And then you got Sunhaven, a farming sim with a magical, mystical twist and a whole fantasy world to explore. More ambitious, still the core gameplay loop. Then you had Fae Farm, fairies, enchantments, romance option with wings. Wholesome? Absolutely. Innovative? No. And look, there's probably like 50,000 other games I could mention that are a little bit the same. Same premise, same vibe, different art style, different characters. I'm not throwing shade on any of these games. They're genuinely lovely and amazing. That's why people adore them, and that's why people keep making more games of it, because it's just that good. If you've played one or two, you get a pretty clear picture of what you're getting into. What I'm trying to say is cozy games have a formula and they're pretty good at sticking to it. But as I was saying before, something is starting to shift inside of the genre. Developers, mostly small teams and indie devs, they started asking different questions. They didn't ask, how do we make a good cozy game? They asked, how do we make a game, a good game that we want to make? And what even is cozy? And the answer they came up with is generally fascinating. Take climbing games like Peak, Yonder, Karen. On paper, climbing games, scaling a whole mountain, doesn't seem that cozy fun. It seems intense, but there's something almost meditative about slowly grabbing and climbing and scaling a mountain. The methodical process kind of puts you at ease. No enemies, no timer, just you and a mountain. And the quiet satisfaction of pulling yourself up. And people call these games cozy, and they're not wrong. Then you got the cozy horror space, which sounds like a contradiction until you actually play it. Something like Rusty Lake or A Little Misfortune. You realize warmth and uneasiness can't sit together. And then there's something new like Pokemon Pokepia, the upcoming successor and concept of a game of a beloved franchise. Basically completely stripping the competitive side of Pokemon. Leaving something behind that feels genuinely fun and joyful to experience. No grinding for perfect IVs, no battle mechanics, just wandering around a beautiful world, making habitats, and talking to creatures. That's cozy, different shape, same feeling. Which brings me to something I've been thinking about a lot lately. Because I don't think the definition of cozy game really captures what a cozy game is. Low stakes, no stress, relaxing, sure. But that definition is describing mechanics, not the feeling. And the feeling is the whole point. The feeling is what makes a cozy game cozy. So here's my definition of a cozy game. Cozy to me is the feeling of happiness, calm, warmth in my heart. It's a sensation of the world melting away and being replaced by something better, even if it's just for a little while. And I still don't think I'm capturing everything in that little sentence. But I'll give you a little example. To me, Baldur's Gate 3, that's a cozy game. Would I pick cozy anywhere in the description of that game? Probably not. It's dark, it's complex, it's emotionally devastating sometimes. An RPG with more moving parts than most people can comprehend. Multiple endings, multiple branching storylines. Honestly, it sounds stressful. But the feeling I get when I play it, sinking into a world like this with characters and story like that, the world just melts away and I'm at peace. And to me, that's as cozy as it gets. All this to say, cozy isn't a genre, it's a feeling, and I think people are starting to understand that. And they're doing something really special. So what does this mean for the genre going forward? It means we're in a generally exciting moment of time. The farming sim era gave us a great, beautiful foundation. Proves that there is a massive audience hungry for games that don't demand everything from them. Games that welcome you instead of challenging you. That matters. It still matters. Now the foundation is being built upon. Developers are taking the emotional core of what makes a cozy game cozy. The warmth, the safety, the sense of belonging. And asking what new shape can a cozy game take? We're seeing cozy mystery games, cozy city builders, cozy horror games, cozy platformers, cozy narrative games that don't shy away from grief and loss with real emotional weight, but still manage to feel like a warm embrace by the time the credits roll. Games like Spiritfarer did this beautifully. A game literally about death and loss and moving on, dressed up in soft watercolors and gentle music that somehow left players feeling more comforted than devastated. That's not an accident, that's craft. This is all coming from small studios and indie developers, not the billion-dollar AAA, AA companies. Not a development team of 500 people and a budget that can feed a small country. It's coming from teams that have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 people who love games and want to make something great. Who want to try something new, break the mold, expand the mold, do something other than what's expected of them. So I want to take a second to actually say it out loud because I think it gets lost sometimes in the broader conversation. AAA studios are spending millions and billions of dollars on games that are feeling increasingly more and more safe. Games that are designed to commit no offense and please everybody, which ultimately leads it to please nobody. Indie developers are out here taking risks and innovating. They're the one asking, what if a cozy horror game worked? They're the one building climbing games that feel meditative and fun. They're the one quietly rehabilitating, rejuvenating what a farming sim can be, what it can do. Or just throwing out the whole cozy farming game out entirely and building from the ground up, but still taking that feeling of cozy with them. Indie developers don't have a safety net. They're just making a game they genuinely believe in with a budget that a AAA team will laugh at. And they're consistently, repeatedly outpacing the AAA games at an embarrassing pace. Cozy genre really exists because of indie developers and its evolution. So yeah, thank you indie developers, small teams. Buy the game, leave reviews, tell your friends. This is literally what is keeping the gaming sphere going up. Because if we left it to the AAA, it'll be a downward spiral for real. So the gaming genre is not what it used to be. And I mean this in the highest possible regard, respect, or whatever. It grew up, it got weird, it got brave. It started asking the hard questions about what comfort means and coming back with the answers surprisingly strange and wonderful. The momentum is real, the creativity is real. We just gotta keep supporting the people that's making it happen. You know in the comments what's your favorite cozy game. It could be out of the box, like me, Baldur's Gate 3. And do you agree with my opinions on cozy games? And that's it. It's JJ Smoothie signing out here.